for this week, we got a lot of good books, a lot of quality options to break down, Joe. Why don't we start with Marvel?
All right. So for New Comic Book Day, April 8th, year 2026, we have from Marvel Comics The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 26, Uncanny X-Men, issue 26. I've continued to chip away. I'm almost fully caught up.
Ooh, nice.
We have Iron Man, issue 4, Wolverine, issue 18, The Mortal Thor, issue 9, Black Cat, issue 9, Null, issue 4, Psylocke, Ninja, issue 4, Moonstar, issue 2, The End 2099, issue 5, Psy, Dimensional Rivals, issue 4. We have Marvel Rivals Infinity Comic, issue 48. Before we get into the book, I want to discuss, we have a number 1. We have Web of Venom, issue 1, written by Jordan Morris, with art by Luke Ross and Ramon Rosanas. But the book I want to discuss this week is Star Wars, Shadow of Maul, issue 2. This is, of course, written by Benjamin Percy with art by Malabek Muzbekov. And I love this series. This scratches every itch that I have. You know, it's the seedy underbelly of Star Wars. We're in Yonix or Janix, depending if you want to say it with a soft J, long Y. But I absolutely love it, right? And so far the first 2 issues, it's been very little Maul, but when we get Maul, it's like whoa. And you know that, okay, we're doing some world building here, right? We're still kind of like really, diving deep into the seedy underbelly and crime world that Percy's created. But as the title would suggest, the shadow of Maul, he's there. He's sort of in the shadows. And the way that this second issue ends, I finished it up right before we went live, and I went, oh! And I think you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yep. 100%.
So that's, I think, what I love about this series so far is that I'm loving the slow build of it. I'm loving the new characters that we're getting. I'm loving the sort of the noirish sort of Blade Runner vibe that we get to it. All the while knowing that even though we've only gotten little bits of Maul, we're gonna get a whole hell of a lot more. Right. Yeah. And that's what I love, this build up to that, because I feel like when Maul is going to be in it, this is going to be like a rocket ship, and it's going to be high octane. So I love this series. I love this issue. And I get, like, if people are craving more Maul, but like when you read it and you're living in it, it's coming and it's going to knock your fucking socks off.
Yeah, I agree, and this issue had a little extra heat to it at the end, like you had alluded to. But what stood out was we got to know Brandon Lawson in the first issue. We knew after we talked to him, Benjamin Percy, there was going to be a lot of him in this series. This issue gives him another layer, and we kind of get an understanding of how he's been able to get to this point. How he could have fit in his previous background as a bounty hunter. So they're doing a lot from that character and layering him. And neither of us have started the series yet. It's one of those things where I'm so excited and I want to make sure I don't have anything to disturb me, so I don't sit down and fucking watch it, because life's going to disturb you. You just got to fucking deal with it. But I am very excited to see this, and excited to see how, like, Brandon Lawson under Benjamin Percy then translates to Brandon Lawson on the Disney Plus show. But yeah, strong start to this series. Really enjoying that character and what they're doing there, and how, again, like you said, how they are establishing Yonix. Like, the art in this alone has been worth the price of the cover price. From DC, we got Absolute Green Lantern issue 13, which I will admit I am now 2 issues behind on this one. It's not. I haven't had I know you were voicing some concerns previously. First, I felt like I wasn't having it as much, but now it's like where it was starting to pick back up again. I don't know. It's just like it's not pulling me in as much when there's so many other options to consider. But I will definitely go back and check this out, and I'd love to be proven wrong. From Action Comics 1097, Bleeding Hearts issue 3. Of course, that is Denise Camp's Dennis Camp's Vertigo title, Supergirl issue 12, Emperor Aquaman issue 16, Green Lantern Corps issue 15, Nice House by the Sea issue 9, Sirens Love Hurts issue 3, DC Connect issue 71, and then we got an issue 1 written by Jeff Lemire and illustrated by Rafael De La Torre. That is The Fury of Firestorm, which neither of us are really Firestorm guys, so we weren't dying to check that one out there. And there were some other good first issues you could check out this week.
Yeah, I'll probably get to it at some point. I ran out a little bit of ran out of steam. I don't know why I phrased it like I did, but this is one I want to check out because it's Lemire. I'm always going to sort of check out a Lemire book, but I'm not a big Firestorm guy, and wouldn't read it otherwise. So I think at least the first issue is worth a gander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's totally fair. It's not like I didn't consider it, but I agree. Like, it's just there are other things that I wanted to make sure are prioritized this week, like some of the stuff we got from Image and Skybound.
Yeah. So from Image and Skybound, we have Transformers issue 31, Spawn issue 374. A book to look out for later in the week from me. There might be a little solo vid on this. Dork issue 3 by Brett Bean. Real quick, this was the darkest issue yet of this series, and holy smokes,
really good.
was it tremendous. King Spawn issue 54, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero issue 327. We're getting let's see, we have a number 1 here, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Crimson Guard issue 1, written by Gabriel Hardman. You're going to hear a lot of like G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, like one-shots this month because, they're putting out these like silent mission books. So you're going to hear that a lot. But there's a book, Nicholas, that you would like to discuss.
Yeah.
Boy, is it a doozy.
Yeah, it's this little ditty called Die Loaded. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. The 6th issue of it is out this week, of course, written by a friend of the show, Kieran Gillen. Art by Stephanie Hans. This issue is a fucking game changer. And I love there's so much obviously that we both love about this series. But what I think this issue really made me appreciate is how Kieran and Stephanie are just playing around with what we know about this world of Die and also what we don't know. It's just the way they're pushing all the right buttons, and it really has been marvelous. And I feel like with this series, and this can be said about the original story too, but with Die Loaded, it's all about the game within the game, and I just cannot get enough of that. And it's just it provides, I feel like, endless opportunities for Kieran and Stephanie for what they do on an issue by issue basis, but also where they take the story, how long the story lasts, just and whatever, and everything that they want to share, that they want to hold back, all of it. So just Die Loaded. I mean, we're through 6 issues now. I'm pretty sure this is the end of the arc. Just outstanding return to this title.
They told you what was going to happen in this issue, and you still didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Literally told you what was going to happen, didn't see it coming, and then hit you like a sack of bricks, when it does. But yeah, this book is the end of the arc, and if you read, Kieran does a wonderful job at the end of every issue. He writes sort of like an essay, if you will, and I believe that Die will be returning in July, so a little bit of a break.
Okay.
Little bit of a break. It would have come back in June, but he said they had to give it an extra month to be able to pull off what they're wanting to pull off and not have it seem rushed or anything like that. So, we got a couple month break here before it comes back and returns. But what a goddamn cliffhanger!
Yeah, let me ask you something, because I have an opinion on this for sure. Do you prefer the idea of a couple month break between arcs, or let's call it 2 or 3, or do you prefer getting single issues every other month throughout the course of the year? So you would get 6 issues, but it's every 2 months basically.
I want what they're doing here with Die, because
I agree.
Because this takes us, I'm going to take us right into Boom, because this takes us into this first title here. Something is Killing the Children, issue 46.
Yep.
I went back and took a look, Nicholas. We got 6 issues in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's pretty much every other month.
That's exactly what it is. I'm seeing other people do that too now.
And so I would rather have the 6 issues that I could read, bang bang bang, and then take 2 3 months or whatever, like what
Hmm.
Dai's doing, and then return. Because I got to tell you, the issue I have with it is it's one thing if the story is engaging, right? And you're like salivating for it. When not to knock this arc, but this arc has been it's like when you get a string of filler episodes in Game of Thrones, you know? And you get those filler episodes, it's like, okay, what are we doing? You just it's like, I said this with the season 1 Born Again Daredevil. I loved it, don't get me wrong. 6 issues would have been better. 6 episodes might have been tighter and better than 8. Right? They stretched some things out to make it a full 8. When you have an arc that is all just slowly paced backstory that's not going anywhere, right? I'm sure, like it's one of those things where, um, like we're getting backstory to these characters. It's taken way too long to give it, and I know that like when it finally gets there, it'll sort of be like this explosive moment, but like the pace to get there, and especially if you're going to spread it out, if you're going to give me like all of this backstory and it takes 8 months to do it, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
I would much rather just wait for the trade, and I hate trade waiting. And with
Hmm.
with, with a property like Something Is Killing the Children, it's so hot, right, and it's so good. I think it has reached a level now where people will just love it for the sake of loving it, and so it's like, oh well, yeah, I can put it on the back burner for a little bit, or I can. I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just telling you how I feel. It feels like it's like we as the readers are being taken for granted a little bit because they know like there's a rabid fan base for it, and if you're gonna, if it's like, okay, well, we need to space it out every 2 months because artist needs time to do this, and I'm doing that and busy, then you got to at least give me something that's paced well.
Hmm.
Give me something like I don't need to be diving back into the past. I Give me something new. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but like I've
No,
been
no.
very disappointed. This arc has not been my favorite.
Yeah, I feel similar, similar but different to how you feel. Like it's, I think this is like you said, like about trades. Like I do wonder like if this will be like enjoyed well as a trade, but we don't want that. Like, and I don't think anybody should necessarily be striving for that unless you're putting out. If they were like, hey, we're gonna put this arc out as a trade. I don't think anybody would have complained. I'd be like, okay, great. Like, not a whole lot happened, but like, I still enjoyed it. Got to spend time. Blah blah blah. Because I do think this story has bones to it. But to your point of like, it's just it feels like it's moved a little too slowly, and it's just not clear we know some of the stuff that like kind of is going to happen, but it feels like it's just not we're not taking the strides that we necessarily need to. So I feel like we're going to get another arc of this, and it's probably going to be move a lot faster, because there's like it's not done, it's not settled yet. But I don't know, man. Like I feel like there's been too much setup in this where we're gonna look back on this as gonna be like a 12 issue arc, and I'm not saying that Jessica Slaughter doesn't deserve that, but it's like it probably could have been condensed a little bit more to maybe be like a extra sized arc where it's like 8 issues as opposed to being 12. But
This is a
um,
12 issue arc that could have been done in 6.
yeah, I just it's
I mean, it really could have. There's been so much filler. It's done nothing but just been stuck in the mud.
yeah
you know
surprising.
and like we get some teeth in this issue in particular. Like this is probably
Yeah,
the most action packed issue that we've had
tensest in a lot of
in
ways. Yep.
in a year, Nicholas, in a
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
which is absolutely wild. So anyways, off
Well,
my soapbox.
well, real quick, I do. I just want to say I very much agree. Like the I'd prefer do an arc and then take a break and then come
Yeah,
back. Like it's even like Saga is doing it where it's like 6 issues and then they come back after like they do 6 months on, 6 months off. I don't love that. Saga can do whatever the fuck they want, obviously, but I don't love that. But I will say I prefer that to, every other month because the timing just feels like waiting a little too long for me.
it just when you have an arc that is slowly paced to begin with, and then you drag it out
I
over
don't
the
care.
course
Like,
of a year,
I'm trying to tell you, I wouldn't
it
care.
adds to it.
Yeah, it does. Sure.
Yeah,
It
that's what I
does.
mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if it comes out if it's coming out every 2 months, if the
Mm-hmm.
pace of the book is slow, and now me
Mm-hmm.
having to wait an extra month is even slower, it
Mm-hmm.
really drags. Like
Yeah.
if I would have been much less critical had I just gotten it bang 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 bang
Mm-hmm.
taking a few months off, right? Because then you're anticipating it. Now you're just like, well, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, from Boom, we also have Power Rangers Prime issue 16, which I believe is the last issue of Misty Flores' run with Power Rangers Prime, and I think that
Okay.
might be the end of the series.
That makes sense. Okay.
We have Hello Darkness,
My old friend.
issue 20. We have Alice Forever, issue 3, and then Nicholas. A number one. We got a lot of number ones we want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
this week. And this one I loved to pieces because it's just sort of scratched me right where I itch. And that is Neighborhood Watch, issue 1, written by Sarah Gailey with art by Haining. Now, I believe I talked about Eat the Rich on the program
Yes.
a ways back. That was also written by Sarah Gailey.
Mm-hmm.
And so she or they, they've got a great way of storytelling, crime, these crime stories, and this takes place in an HOA, right, the homeowners association sort of community, and it's what you have in this community is you've got like two very separate groups, right? You've got like the homeowners association, which are your psychopaths that are like, oh, your mailbox is leaning a quarter of an inch to the left, fix that. Oh, you didn't bring your barrels in at a prompt time. That's a fine, right? And then you got this other group that live in the same community, but like they're all about like the community garden, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So they live in they sort of take place in the same, but they're separate from each other, And so you get these, you're meeting these two different groups of characters and how similar but also very different they are, and then so it's almost got like this like I don't know if you ever watched Desperate Housewives, back in the day, or at least familiar with it,
I am.
right?
Yes.
So like I never watched it either, but familiar with sort of the premise, so like that sort of thing.
Mm.
A lot of gossipy neighbors and things like that. But there's a dead body to be found. And the way that the body is discovered, it's discovered by one member of one group, another member by the other group. They just happen to come across the body at the same time, and they're accusing each other of being the one, responsible for the death. So it was just there was some great humor to it, but Sarah Gailey's writing is outstanding, and so I can't wait to see where the series goes from here, and this is going to be one of those books that I love, where it's going to be like the breadcrumbs are there, the clues are there, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be great on a second read. I've already got that feeling this book is going to be excellent on a second read. So, Neighborhood Watch, Boom Studios, Sarah Gailey. Haiting's art is also absolutely fantastic. So, highly recommend picking that book up this week.
Yeah, this was a fun one. This one has like you said, it has a few different things going on that make this really interesting and pulls you in a few different directions along the way. And the ending was surprising. It has a little extra heat to it too. Like you get this thing at the end, but then there's there's a little more oomph to it too, which I appreciated.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one spoiling shit, Nicholas. That's my job. That's my job.
Yeah, no kidding. I think you reminded everybody of that. All right. From Mad Cave Studios, we got Dick Tracy, issue 16, Defenders of the Earth, Dark Destiny, issue 4, and then we got Flash Gordon, issue 0, by Dave Abnett and Manuel Garcia. This is a new creative team that's taken over here. Then we got Speed Racer, Tales from the Road, High Speed Noon, issue 1. Got a few different people mixing in stories here, including a friend of the show, Anthony Cleveland. And then there's a number 1, Joe, that I wanted to discuss. This is written by Tim Seeley and Ryan Onan with art by Paolo Armitano. And when I saw this cover, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely checking this shit out. Pretty Hate Machine. I enjoy a dark book. I don't think that's I don't think it's a secret to people who listen to the show or to you, and you do as well. But I definitely like that is I just like those. I'm drawn to those stories, and there's a lot of different things that can be considered dark. This is a very, very dark book. I was blown away by that, both from an art standpoint and both from a storytelling standpoint. It starts off unhinged, and then it kind of takes a more depressing turn, and then as the book progresses, like the unhinged nature and the depressed nature are kind of like dancing with one another. It's like they almost meld together. It was a fascinating read, and it's like, and just when you think, okay, like you see, like there's breadcrumbs here, you see something there, something start to add up. By the end of it, it's like, wait a second, did none of that matter? Like now I have more questions. Like it like you don't know by the end of it. Like you have an idea of the pieces on the board, but there's like this last little wrinkle at the very end of things where it's like, wait, what the fuck does that mean? So Pretty Hate Machine. If you like horror shit, this is a great book to check out this week. It is fucking dark though, man. Like that is the violence in this shit. Like be careful where you're reading it.
So I didn't read it, Nicholas. If you want to call dibs, this is your time to do it.
I'm going to call dibs on this one. Actually, okay. I am going to call dibs on this one. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for. I thought you were going to check it out. That's why
I was, but I didn't get to it. So I saw you underlined it. You loved it. So Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, from Oni Press, we have Rick and Morty. I'm sorry, I just stepped on your toes. You're supposed to be reading off Oni.
No, you go ahead.
Okay,
you know what? You're cooking. Let them cook, as the kids say, Nicholas. Let them cook.
Thank you, Mr. Thrill Ride. All right, from Oni, we got Rick and Morty, The End, Issue 5. And then from friends of the show, TB Andry, or TB Dandry. TB Dandry. That's what it is.
Tuberculosis Andry.
Yes. Tim Daniel and DB Andry, along with Man House, we get Estuary, a ghost story. And if you're looking, as much as I love Pretty Hate Machine, and I think it's a great first issue to pick up, if you are looking for a singular first issue to take a flyer on this week, it's got to be Estuary, a ghost story from Oni Press. You have this cool marine archaeologist leading, like at the center of this as the lead. But what's really important to me in all this is like, if you like a good ghost story, you're gonna love Estuary because it's very atmospheric. I have not stopped thinking about that fucking fog from this book, Joe. It's got its hooks in me. And then you have this cool main character, and then we've talked about it before in previous books from Tim and DB, but they partner with artists who are really good at capturing like the horror that is the ocean and underneath the ocean. And where in their previous book, Crushed Depth, there was like a stillness that was captured. It was the uncomfortableness of the depths of the ocean versus here, which is like, still, deep water, but offshore. It's just it's done differently by Man House, and I absolutely love it. In this case, I would say it's more eerie and chilling underwater in Estuary, a ghost story. So this is we really enjoyed the first issue. We had a great time talking with Tim and DB about it, but man, like I cannot wait for the second issue after checking this one out.
Yeah, it is haunting to say the least. And Tim and DB always do a great job at creating characters. There's a great character who provides some great levity, in this issue who cracks me up. But it's Man House's art that really blows me away. And we talked about this in the interview. It's the first 2 pages. They're silent, right? It's just art. But I really do feel, like it is very Sherlock Holmes-esque. It's very sort of Agatha Christie-esque in the sense that like they're setting something up. Right, and you don't know exactly what's going on, but there's important details there, right? And I feel like they told us a lot without saying anything in those first page or so, 2 pages with just the art, and it's really well done. And Man House's art is really really creepy, really haunting. So this is a book that I've already earmarked as a potential floppy winner. It is that damn good.
Yeah, it really is. It has a ton of potential. I was so we both said it. It was our favorite first issue that we've seen
Mm.
from the two of them so far. It is really that freaking good. All right, what do we got from the next couple here, Joe?
Okay, from IDW, we have TMNT issue 17. We have The Twilight Zone issue 6. We have TMNT Journeys issue 8. Star Trek Lower Decks issue 18. And then we have Godzilla's Monster Piece Theater presents Romeo and Juliet and Godzilla. Why? I do not know, but we have it. It's written by Adam Tierney with art by Sean Peacock.
Need it.
Something tells me those are pen names, but if not, Sean Peacock or Peacock, I've heard it both ways. It's a great name. It's a great name. From Titan or Titan or Titan, but mostly Titan. We have Dead by Daylight, the Hillbilly issue 1, written by Derek Friedolfs with art by Dean Kotz. I almost wanted to say Dean Koontz, but he is a writer, not an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Ignition, we have a book, Nicholas, that you have been reading.
Yes.
Hello There, Dangerously. Yeah, Godzilla, Romeo, and Juliet. Yeah.
Yes.
Someone might have to read that, actually. Now that I've joked, I might read it. But anyways, from Ignition, we have Murder Podcast, issue 6. And then we have Everyone Loves a Jewel Thief, issue 1, written by Tim Seeley and Aaron Campbell, with art by Aaron Campbell. Let me read the synopsis here real quick. What's a struggling writer to do except pull off a jewel heist? Novelist C. Scott Fredrickson. I wanted to say F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
They did that on purpose, I feel like. Just to fuck with me.
Did.
Hasn't written anything of note in years. He's about to lose his adjunct position at the university, be dropped by his agent, and possibly dumped if he doesn't publish a hit soon. Scott has it all figured out, a masterfully scripted spectacle to dazzle the masses without doing any real harm. A local celebrity will be robbed of her prized possessions, and Scott will come out of it on the other side as an anti-hero, showered with publicity and a lucrative new book deal. It's from Tim Seeley, so you know it's going to be hilarious. And Aaron Campbell, so you know the art's going to kick ass and be a little dark. This sounds like a fantastic issue 1.
Yep.
And I feel like Ignition has sort of picked up on the steam that Distillery once had. You know, when they came hot out of the presses.
That's an interesting call.
You know, because we've really not had much from Distillery at all over the past 6 months.
Yeah,
And
they made an
Ignition is
announcement
really-
about being back, but it like they're not. I don't know when that's supposed to start. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
but you're
Ignition,
right about Ignition.
yeah. So they're coming hot. So that's a book worth checking out, I think.
Yeah, I will definitely be checking that one out for sure. I guess whoever gets there first will take dibs, and we'll see where we go from there, or not. Who knows? We do not get Ignition review copies. That is why we don't do breakdowns of Ignition books. Not for lack of trying, just haven't been able to connect yet. From Dynamite, as we round out this opening, well, I guess the second week of April, we have Space Ghost issue 10, Archie, the Army of Darkness issue 3, and then the first issue we got Thundercats and Silverhawks issue 1, of course written by Declan Shalvey, and then we got a second issue of another book that we're both reading and that you wanted to break down.
Yeah. So, but real quick, Thundercats, Silverhawks issue 1, book was wild.
Okay, nice.
Absolutely wild. One of the more action-packed and violent issues of both of these series.
Oh, wow.
But the book I want to break down, I
Yeah.
just love it so much.
Yeah.
The Muppets Noir issue 2, written and drawn by Roger Langridge. And I will say this, until, you know, I will scream it from the mountaintops. This is just one of the most fun comics I have read in some time. You know, it's taken the Muppets, which I think is a great property that lends itself to parody. Because you have just such a great cast of characters, and when you have someone that understands them and treats them right, you know.
Yep.
Like I love all the Muppet, like I love Muppet Treasure Island, and I love a Muppet's Christmas Carol, and you know, those are all like great comedic spoofs. But I love this comic because it's like it's a hard-boiled crime story with just the most outlandish, like, it's just so fun because you've got Kermit who's been hitting the head with a brick, and he's in this this sort of fever dream where he's a hard boiled detective, and he's been tasked with finding the missing heiress of oh, I can't remember what the is it a candy bar company or something like that.
Pie Company.
Pie Company, thank you. Oh yeah, right. And it's wild because like when Kermit smells
Yeah.
pies, he like passes out.
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
it goes back to some deep seated childhood trauma which was revealed in this issue.
Mm.
But what I love about it the most, right, is the running gag of that he's trying to find this missing person who happens to be Miss Piggy, and he's constantly running into her, but doesn't know
Dude,
it's her, right?
so good.
And so it's like it's the most obvious. It's just so fun, right?
Yeah.
And language is art. Like it's real. It's like perfect, 'cause it's in black and
Yeah.
white. Well, the noir part of the story, because there are some elements. It's sort of each issue kind of so far started off in color, right, and then he slips into the dream and whatnot. So it's just
Right.
I love this book. I want everyone to know about this book. I want everyone to read this book. Because it'll just put a smile on your face. It's like one of those things like when you're a kid and you're just reading comics. It's gonna take you back, I think, to that sort of time.
I couldn't agree with you more. When I finished reading that issue, I was like, this is exactly like when you've been talking about like finding more books that are like lighter, fun, uplifting ish in a way, or at least not as dark as some of the other stuff that we tend to gravitate towards. The Muppets Noir is absolutely that, and I'm enjoying the shit out of it. And I agree with you. Like, I hope this book does really well because I would like to see Langridge get more opportunities with these characters. Because this is just like if you like the Muppets, this guy fucking gets it, and he knows what he's doing in comic book form. Like, and his art is outstanding. And I would love to see. I cannot wait to see. For the rest, I'm not trying to rush this issue or series rather, but I can't wait to see him. I would love to see him do another one. I really think he'd do a good job. He just fucking gets it. So put it simply, if you like the Muppets, just check this shit out. Don't think twice.
It's exactly what you think it would be.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's all you need.
Yep.